moly, that took forever. Okay, the first thing I read today, more DJI Mavic Mini leaks it seems like. It's going to be announced in a few days anyways, but it seems like some people are jumping the gun, so to speak, in terms of releasing information. This one on an official retailer site again. You can see all these close-up pictures of it. It looks kind of huge, I guess you could say, just with the close-ups. You'd think, oh, you know, it's just a regular looking Mavic Pro type of thing, but they do have one picture where it shows it in the palm of a person's hand, so you can kind of see how small it actually is. All the specs and stuff seems to match from what I said last time. These aren't from like those rumor sites that just make something up. These are from the official retailer sites, so this is as good as it gets, as opposed to DJI telling you this is what it is on their announcement day. For me, the most interesting picture of all this is the Fly More combo. So as you guys know, usually when they release a drone, they have an extra package that gives you things like more batteries and stuff. So here you can clearly see the drone and the accessories and the controller. And the controller actually looks like a Mavic Air, doesn't it? You can also remove the control sticks from the controller, which seems to be pretty much kind of a standard for them for their newer drones and stuff. I actually wonder if this is literally just a Spark, but they took some features and stuff out, because the camera reminds me of the Spark. And just based on the looks of it from the front and all that, it seems like there's no front sensors. Maybe that's how they got the weight down. They removed stuff like that. I personally don't care too much about front sensors and all that for a tiny little drone. It's more about the stability. Will it last in things like the harsh wind? If there's any question on whether or not this is supposed to replace the Spark or the Mavic Air, I think it's safe to say the Spark, because even on the official DJI site, it seems like they got rid of the Spark on its website. And then with these leaks, essentially they list the price. Now keep in mind this is in Canadian dollars. It says about $520 for the regular intelligent drone with everyday fly cam, and then it says DJI Mavic Mini Fly More Combo, $646. So that should match the original leaks, where the original price for the Mavic Mini is $399 US, and according to the calculations here, the drone with the Fly More combo will be $100 US more, so $499. It's kind of funny where even on the retail package it seems, it says ultra lightweight, $249, so they're really pushing that. Obviously that would be the selling point for this thing. Is there anything about this drone that hasn't been leaked yet that people are curious about? It seems like almost everything's been revealed just from all these premature retail releases. I guess the only thing though in my mind, which you have to wonder, because obviously it's under 250 grams where you can pretty much fly it in most places, basically avoiding federal regulations. But what if they use, for example, the DJI Geofence? For those who don't know, basically DJI drones have a software built in that stops you from flying around certain areas. For example, around airports. And because of that, you'd have to unlock the drone in order to be able to fly there. So usually there's a process to that. Like for example, here in Canada, you'd have to phone Nav Canada. Basically, they manage the airspace, get permission, and then you have to send it to DJI, get it unlocked. So there's a whole process to it. So that's kind of an interesting dilemma here in Canada anyways, with the way it works, because let's just say you're around an airport zone and you're flying here, just in your neighborhood, in the backyard or something like that. You just want to fly 30 meters in the air and this thing stops you. Technically, this drone shouldn't ever be on the Transport Canada compliant list because it's under 250 grams, so they consider this as a toy. So in that sense, you can't get permission to fly it in a controlled zone, so to speak, so how would you unlock that? So that's one of the points we'll just have to wait and see to see how this thing turns out overall. Generally speaking though, this isn't a replacement for your main drone. Like for example, if you fly things like a Mavic Pro or a Phantom or something like that, it's meant more for an extra handy drone to fly in certain situations I can imagine. Let's just say there's an event or something like that, you want to just fly to get a quick aerial capture, that's what this would be for, I would say. One thing from these pictures too, which I found silly that I mentioned before, just in terms of all these things like the drone regulations, they say it's all about safety. You can get things like, it seems like prop guards, for example, I guess to cover the drone to make it you can crash, if you accidentally crash it anyways, to walls, so you won't slice people with the propellers and stuff. But if this thing is basically $249 on the dot as is with the battery and all that without additional stuff, wouldn't putting these guards on the drone make it over 250 grams? And that's it. We're gonna treat this drone just like some humongous 25 kilogram drone now, so it has to be regulated. Just to show you how silly it is to base everything on that little weight. You would think you should encourage people to use stuff like that, correct? Just to be more safe. And how about this? From tiny drones to a large drone. It seems like Uber unveiled its delivery drone. It says, first look, Uber unveils new design for Uber Eats delivery drone. The head of Uber Elevate revealed a new Uber Eats delivery drone design on stage at Forbes Under 30 Summit in Detroit. The company plans to use the design when it starts testing meal delivery in San Diego next summer. And there's a picture of it. That's pretty big. Makes you wonder with this alone if there's going to be more commercial companies doing drone deliveries, if that will restrict people from flying drones recreationally and all. Alright, see you guys later.